Time to talk safety in the bush, Nick. And back in ye olde days, forestry was one of the most deadly industries you could work in.
Look, Andrew, you had big trees, you had blokes swinging chainsaws and things falling out of the sky, but in the last sort of 30 or 40 years, a massive amount of energy has been put into making it a safer environment to work in.
It has, and it's not just about hard hats and fluoro vests.
This is how forestry of yesteryear was done. Men in the bush trying to avoid all sorts of different ways they could be injured or killed. Falling and manhandling massive trees, a daily but deadly occupation.
Dick the loader gets a free lift to the top. Every day is Luna Park for Dick.
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable, the changes. I mean, when I started, we had a terry towel and that, a pair of soft-toed boots, and we just had to get logs. That was it.
Here comes another whopper.
In the bush today, though, it's a very different story, with some harvesting operations requiring no men on the ground, just safely in their machines, but still in awe of how the old bushmen used to do it.
It is something that you think about. Yeah, we often come through old stumps and things like that you can nearly park a machine this size on, and you often wonder how they brought them to the ground and the dangers that used to be involved in logging, but in the plantation-based stuff now with these machines, it's a world of difference.
So, Ray, you've been in the bush 48 years, mate, and I guess they didn't have machines like this back then?
No, it was a track loader and a skidder, and that was it.
So, I mean, today we've got no one on the ground, have we?
No, not even a chainsaw on this job. No one has a chainsaw here.
So it's a forestry job without a chainsaw?
It is. Brilliant.
Very, very safe.
Back in about 82, I think we had three men killed in 4 working days, and 2 of them was on sites that I was supervisor on, and yeah, it's affected me. That's why I'm still in safety, I suppose. So, yeah, pretty tough times at that time.
Safety in the forest is evolving all of the time and is now one of the big issues that all forest workers have at the forefront of their minds.
For my personal opinion, and the colleagues that I work with here on this job, it's of utmost importance. Everyone wants to go home of an evening and be able to do things that you choose to do on the weekends and in your free time.
Companies such as Forestry Tasmania are ready to recognise contractors who do all they can to keep safe. Perotti Contracting recently awarded for an outstanding safety record.
It's actually quite a sophisticated way of measuring safety performance in the bush, and that is the amount of time lost per million man-hours worked.
1 million man-hours?
Yeah.
It's quite a lot, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I wonder how they'd measure your productivity and output. I wonder how many man-hours that would be.
Safety's not a joke.
No. 1 hour a week.
Even as early as sort of 3 years back, our lost time injury rate per million man-hours was in excess of 17, almost 18. For the last financial year, we achieved a figure of 6.9 lost time injuries per million man-hours. This current year, we're running at just in excess of 3, so it's just a phenomenal result.
To cut injury rates, it's important a new generation of foresters come through with the right training.
One thing I do like about having young blokes on the job, it makes everyone conscious of safety, because you're doing it all the time, you take it for granted. But when you've got someone new, you know that things you know they don't.
Forestry Tasmania is proactive about its safety message, spending plenty of time on the ground with the state's forest contractors, each of which is required to write out a safety management plan. The message seems to be working, with the number of days lost because of injury per million man-hours being slashed by half to just over 7.37 in 2009-10 and is currently at just 6.9.
No doubt the bush is a lot safer place to work nowadays, but there's still more to do.
Not for us, Andrew. That is the end of our program. Thanks very much for watching, and before we leave you, here's a look at what's coming up next time.
We go on the hunt for one of Australia's most enigmatic forest dwellers, the long-footed potteroo, and explore some of the innovative ideas that will shape our timber markets in the not-so-distant future.